about your journey. It's about what are you going to do to create your legacy? How are you going to impact our lives? Have you guys ever watched the movie by Will Smith called Hitch? Raise your hands. Awesome. A lot of people in this audience have. Now, this movie is a romantic comedy. And Will Smith takes this girl out on a date. And while he's taking this girl out on a date, he ends up having this, right, he ends up eating the food, and he ends up having an allergic reaction. He ends up going into an anaphylactic shock. And his face starts to swell, his airway starts to close, and he panics. He's in a complete panic. He ends up, they end up rushing out of the restaurant. He ends up going to this drugstore. You can see here, there's a picture of him downing a bottle of Benadryl. He was trying to find any antihistamine, any anti-inflammatory that he could. This happened to me one morning in 2006. I ended up waking up with hives and welts, and my airway was closing at 3 o'clock in the morning. And like I said, I'm a registered nurse, so I knew what was happening to me. And I ended up going knocking on my door. Oh, I had a roommate at the time, and she ended up having to die at that actually last night. I ended up knocking on the door, like, you gotta watch me, because my face was completely swollen. And I was in actually complete panic. I am not a person that takes pharmaceuticals. I'm not, and I only think I've taken 10 Tylenol in my life. And luckily she had some Benadryl. I had taken some Benadryl, and she had another antihistamine that I ended up taking. And my swelling started to go down in my face, and my airway actually came back. But I was terrified. I was terrified that I was going to die. And at the time, I was dating a physician. When this cuts out, can you guys hear? Okay, I don't kiss it. I can hear. So anyways, I ended up calling my boyfriend at the time, who was a medical physician, and he ended up coming back to my house like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we just both thought I was having an allergic reaction, just like Will Smith was having. And well, we were both wrong, because 6 weeks later, I was still waking up with the hives and welts, and I was still waking up with my face completely swollen all the time, and it would come and go. It would come and go. And so, once you have hives longer than 6 weeks, they consider what's called chronic idiopathic urticaria. Those are some big words. So idiopathic just means in medicine, it's an unknown cause. We don't know. And then urticaria just means hives. And just so you know how bad it was, here's a picture of the angioedema in my face and on the side of my body, and I'm actually going to go back. On the side of my body, my welts would be red and blotchy, and then they would go into this welt stage, and then they would go back into a red blotchiness. And here's a picture of my legs, and at the bottom, the rash is on the bottom of your feet. It's aggravating. Here's a picture of my arms, my abs, my bottom. I don't know why the slides are not working. They're blank. Okay. So I woke up this way every day for 10 years of my life. And I tried over 15 different pharmaceutical firms, and you kind of heard my intro. I talked to 800 different physicians and 8 different specialists, and we just didn't know what to do after taking 15 different pharmaceuticals. I was determined that this disease I was not my disease. And I became this adrenaline junkie because it was the only time that I felt free. And so I lived off adrenaline hits. And when you continually do this, when you're continually going off adrenaline hits, my body, most bodies, all bodies actually, there's a thing in your body that's called your adrenal glands. You release cortisol, and your body will shut down. You'll go back into your brain, and in your brain, the hypothalamus will just shut your body down. And so I was crashing for 18 hours, 24 hours. My body would just completely crash. And I had a really defining moment the 800 physicians. And I went out with a physician, and we went hiking in Australia. And this is the hike that we actually did. And this physician turned to me and he's like, "You need to meet my wife." And I was like, "Okay, I'm happy to meet your wife." And he's like, "My wife, 15 years ago, was going exactly through what you were going through." And I was like, "Well, I can't wait to meet her." And I ended up going to meeting her, and she was bedridden. She was completely bedridden. And when I met her, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is not my destiny. This, I worked too hard." And I immediately booked myself into a yoga retreat for 3 days, and it ended up being Easter weekend. And I ended up working with this amazing woman that there's only 12 people actually studying under a man named Prashad Joyce my body was responding. My body was responding to this yoga. And I knew nothing about yoga, but my body was really responding, and let me tell you why. In medicine, when we're in a fight or flight, we're in a sympathetic mode. Our body's fight or flight, right? And we're releasing a lot of different hormones that are helping us keep our body that way. And the body cannot heal. It cannot heal unless it goes into what's called a parasympathetic mode, a rest and digest mode. Well, I had a job that was stressful, and then I would, my turn was I would turn towards physical exercise, and that was putting my body just under a different type of stress. And so this was, when I went there was women putting their body in just amazing postures. It was like, but there was a big connection between the mind and the body, and I was learning because I would go into, right before I walked into the physician's office, I would just do squats or I'd go and do jumping jacks because I had learned that the physical body can control the mind. And that the physical body really is the base of what creates performance. And you can't be in right emotions, and you can't have right meanings without your physical body, without the hormones, without the neurotransmitters doing what they're supposed to be doing in your body. So I booked a ticket to Boracay because I had a colleague that ended up calling me like at 10 o'clock at night. He kind of knew what was going on. At that time, I was an avid kite surfer. I still am. I was an avid kite surfer. And he just called me up and he said, "You should consider Boracay because you can do yoga and kite surfing and you can get both of those things." And so immediately I ended up going over, not immediately, about within 6 months, I quit my job and decided that I needed to heal myself. And I booked a ticket over to the Philippines. And because I wanted to live like I was dying. At that time, I didn't know that I would travel all 7 continents and visit 45 different countries. Because when you have chronic disease affects your spirituality. You start to question that. It affects your relationships. It affects. I didn't want to be touched. It affects a lot of different areas in your life that we don't really talk about, but that is actually a part of illness. Now, a part of this journey, I ended up going to India, and this was a hike, and unfortunately, this is a picture of a man that was similar to the one that I met. In India, there's men that are called sadhus. They're called priests, or they're priests for the Hindu religion. And I was hiking up this trail, and I was going to this village, and as I was hiking up this sadhu, we ended up walking past a marijuana plant, because the marijuana grows just everywhere. And he ended up going to the marijuana plant, and all the flowers were off of the marijuana plant, and he ends up picking up the marijuana plant, he ends up rolling, and he ends up putting it on the back of his Achilles, because his Achilles were hurting him. at the time, I was just like, okay, that's weird. And then he ended up taking it, and he ended up kind of swishing it through his mouth. Cannabis has been around for a long time, and these cultures, a lot of these cultures know about the cannabis plant better than we do here, better than we know. Another experience that I had is when I was in Ecuador, I went to this Peruvian shaman ceremony, and I just thought I was going to this cultural ceremony. And this guy, and this is the actual picture, this guy, right after this, he pulls out the marijuana plant. And he creates that, because the marijuana plant ends up having flavonoids, which are in the terpenes that kind of stimulate in the air. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is, guys like cocaine. I was like, okay, this is different. Later that night, you can see I have a guy here walking over me, and this guy is just high as a kite. And in South America, they like to dance, and they like their salsa, and everywhere you're going, there's just a contagious energy. There's just a vibe there. And this guy's trying to teach me, because he is high, and he's trying to teach me about the cannabis plant. The next day, I go on this trip with some of his friends, actually, and we're traveling on top of a bus, and we're on top of the bus, and they're kind of talking about cannabis plant. Now, they were speaking in Spanish, and I had really, really broken Spanish. I don't actually speak Spanish, and I thought at the time that they were just partiers, right? But I didn't care because I wanted to go surf. And what they were trying to kind of tell me on the bus that I realize now that I didn't at the time was that they were trying to do it to help prevent some of the inflammation when they were actually going surfing. You don't have to be a stoner, a hippie, a gypsy, a granola to actually embrace this cannabis plant. There is a lot of medical benefits to the cannabis plant. I am a person who has consumed cannabinoids, and I have never ever consumed marijuana. I've never consumed THC, but I have consumed a lot of cannabinoids. Chronic disease is plaguing America, absolutely plaguing America. We have over 1 billion people that are obese and are suffering from diabetes. We have 20% of kids ages from 6 to 11 that are obese. We have 600,000 people dying of cardiovascular disease, which is an autoimmune disease, and we have about 20% of people that are depressed, and that's rising every single year. Autism has doubled since the year 2000, and it is on the rise. And we have a lot of people that are suffering from chronic disease. Now, finding functional medicine and understanding the endocannabinoid system saved me. It changed the trajectory of my health. It made me change from illness, and I moved over to wellness. And today I've been able to reverse all four autoimmune diseases. The first thing that you need to learn about functional medicine, and I'm going to kind of explain what functional medicine is genes account for less than 10% of disease. Who here raise your hand if you have taken your 23andMe or your Ancestry.com or a nutrigenomics test? Okay. And then raise your hand, tell me if you've actually heard of the tests. Who's actually heard of the test? So most all of you have heard of genetic testing. So we thought when we discovered the genome that it would just embrace and it would open up this whole new world to medicine. And it has, but it didn't give us as much information as we were actually hoping. Another way to say that, because that's a little bit confusing, is genes look environment. I mean from the food that you're eating, from the environment that you're taking, that you're breathing, if you have amalgam fillings and you're leaking mercury from your teeth. So it's a total type of environment, even from when you were in the womb in your mother's tummy. So what is functional medicine? Is the tree up there? Yes, awesome. Okay, the slide, I can't read. Okay, so this functional medicine tree, in modern medicine, I'm a big believer in modern medicine, conventional medicine. We go to the physician, and when we're going to the physician, we end up learning, we tell them our signs and our symptoms of our disease, and when we're telling the signs and symptoms of our disease, in the doctor's brain, they're going, okay, that goes into this organ and this system, and I am so smart because I've given you a diagnosis, and I've given you the diagnosis, and what their training is in medical school is this is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 pharmaceutical. They're not trained to look for the cause of disease. They're not trained to look at how disease is, because we're in acute care medicine, we just got to take care of the problem right now. And so it's really, really good. Modern medicine is really, really good at acute care medicine. It's horrible for chronic disease. It doesn't even know how to deal with chronic disease. So in functional medicine, we look at your genes, we look at your environment, we're looking at the root causes of disease, which really are your sleep, your relaxation, regular sleep, your relaxation, your exercise, your movement, your diet, your nutrition, the environment, the relationship, right? We have so many people that are depressed today because they don't have the social connections, right? We're not talking to people, and people are getting depressed because they don't have those social connections. When I'm in the same room with you or next to you, I'm sharing what's called your microbiome in your stomach. Right? We all have good bacteria, we all have bad bacteria, and we're sharing that. And when we go play in the dirt, that dirt is giving me good bacteria. That's what we have probiotics. That's what we have probiotics that are helping so many people today. Now, when I found this out, and when I really started to study functional medicine, I got angry. I was angry at all the training that I went to. I had to go through these 5 stages of grieving. Because first I was just in complete denial. I was in complete denial because here I've been in the healthcare field, teaching, educating physicians in the pharmaceutical space. I put 15 different pharmaceuticals on the market. I was doing the research. I trained people on fluid management, anesthesiologists. So I was dumbfounded, absolutely dumbfounded that practitioners today, that we don't learn this when we go to school. That anger fed me. It fed me. I ended up going and getting a bunch of different training. I got trained from a coaching perspective, from a functional medicine side, because we are so used to going to the doctor. The doctor is what's called a doctor dictator. They're telling you what to do, and it's not a coach approach where they're helping you, where they're giving you advice on what you do and meeting you where you are. They have 15 minutes with you in the office, and all they really can do is give you a pharmaceutical, and they're not helping you. So functional medicine is trying to create that you have a team of professionals that are working with you, that are helping you, so you can actually reverse your diseases. I have a binder at home of different certifications that I have and trainings that I went to. And when I was traveling, I went to a lot of different self-help breathing exercises, and I was learning a lot about Eastern philosophy. And when I was learning about Eastern philosophy, that even opened up my eyes. A part of my functional medicine journey, I ended up studying what's called nutrigenomics nutrition. This test opened my eyes to the endocannabinoid system. This test goes, in our body, we have detox pathways. Most people today I'm not saying most people, a lot of people are obese today and are not able to get rid of the toxins that are stored in their adipose tissue, their fat, because they're what's called total body toxic load. They have lead, they have mercury, they have a variety of different symptoms that their body cannot get rid of. In medicine, we go in, we hook you up to an IV and we chelate that out, and so then your body's able to release some of those toxins. But the body is purposely keeping you, a lot of people, overweight because of the total body toxic load. The other thing that this test helped me understand was inflammation. Inflammation, I had never learned on the test when it was doing, I personally have 2 to 3 genes that turn on inflammation very easily in my body. And I have 3 of the 4 genes that don't turn off inflammation. So here I turn it on really easy, but I can't turn it off. My body doesn't know how to turn it off, and so hemp oil came into play, and I was like, well, I don't know anything about hemp oil. I didn't learn that helps with inflammation. So I started studying. And what I ended up finding is we need to be really, really grateful for the cannabis plants, the cannabis family plants, because the cannabis family plant is what helped us discover the endocannabinoid system, a system in your body that creates balance, right? So here we have this system in our body, and when you go to school, you learn about 12 different systems in the body, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system. We don't learn about the endocannabinoid system. If I was to foresee the future, I believe that we're going to have endocannabinologists, because there's a great big thing, there's a great big connection, just like we go to endocrinologists, we're going to actually have endocrinologists, because how important that this system is and regulating all of the other systems. It only makes sense that God, in His infinite wisdom, would create a system in the body that helps regulate all of the other systems in the body. Dr. Hadfield, he is the founder of the endocannabinoid system. He ended up in 1988, finding that we have these CB1, CB2 receptors in our body. And I love this. I love that he found the system in the body, because receptors are made from compounds that we already produce in our body, not because there's a plant out there, right? It's not because there's a plant. We need to be grateful that the plant out there, because this plant helped us discover the endocannabinoid system. Now, most of the leading research is coming out of Israel, and he's based out of Israel. So I started reading these books. These are 2 great books, but one of these books rocked my world. Now, what I ended up finding was, in one of these books, they have what's called a Cannabis Health Index rating system. And it took 8,000 studies, and it rated cannabis on a scale from 0 to, 1 really, to 5. 1 being that it was possible that it could help the condition, and 5 being it's a double blind, it's placebo control, that's how all of our pharmaceuticals are made, and that it was accurate. It was more possible that it was actually helping. It was actual information. What I found, and this is a chart that I made from that book, because the way that book was read was confusing. This here it ranked all of that. So for me, when I was reading this, Can you see that autoimmune disease has a 4 out of a 5-star rating? I was suffering from 4 autoimmune diseases. And the other 4-star was cancer. And a lot of people think that cannabis helps, right, cures cancer. It absolutely does not. What it does is it helps, the body goes into what's called apoptosis, and that is a word that just means that we have cancer cells going around in our body, and it helps kill the actual cell. So it's actually it's helping kill the cells so we can activate some of the cells. So I'm going to leave so this system right here, this cannabis, says I had to learn more about this because that was all of 8 different studies. So I'm going to explain the endocannabinoid system, and I got to put this fine back. If I'm inside this hula hoop, it means that it's inside the body. If I say exogenous, right, is a term that you'll hear in the cannabis industry, means exit. It means outside of the body. And that's in medical terms, that's how we talk. So this is an endocannabinoid system. It's actually inside the body. And this is a really special hula hoop. This hula hoop breaks down. I'm not going to break it down more, but this hula hoop breaks down. So we have enzymes in our body, the 5 different enzymes in our body. Just when you consume food and when you're chewing your food, we're masticating, right? And we're releasing, every time I masticate, I'm releasing enzymes. When I go down into the stomach, my stomach, if I eat a piece of steak, and I don't chew it, I don't masticate it all the way, I have to have enzymes in my body that help me break down that food. And that's exactly what these enzymes do. When we consume phytocannabinoids, those are cannabinoids that are actually found in the marijuana plant and in the hemp plant, the cannabis family of plants. Those enzymes help break down in our body. Those enzymes like fat. If I have 2 of these, I'm not going to break it down because I don't have the head piece. This is covered in a foam. Our cannabinoid system likes fat. In medicine, we call that lipophilic, right? So that's why downstairs, when you're going and purchasing all of your CBD is in a fat. It's in a coconut oil, it's in an olive oil, it's in a grapeseed oil, because cannabinoids are lipophilic. But also, the job of these enzymes also help build back, or what we call synthesize, and help build back building blocks in our body. The second part of the endocannabinoid system, and I could go into detail about what those five different enzymes do, but we don't have time for that. The signaling molecules, in order for me to get this to hula hoop, I have to send a message from my brain down to my hips, down to my knees, down to the bottom of the floor. I have to send a signal. Well, using my nerves, I have to send a synaptic charge down to that. So there's messaging, right? So in the cannabinoid system, we have signaling molecules that are innate in our bodies. They're called anandamide and 2-AG. And let's see if I can do this and do it at the same time. So when in the cannabinoid system, when I'm sending signals, I have to be able to upregulate, and if I really look at this hula hoop, I can upregulate it and bring it all the way up to my hand. Or I can downregulate it and start it again. So what those signaling molecules are doing are upregulating and downregulating and telling the body the messages of what it needs. You need more of this, you don't need more of that. They're sending signals and relaying messages. The third thing is they have to be able to have a place to send the messages to. So I want you to think of receptors as Tetris. In Tetris, when we play the game of Tetris, if it connects in, right, then the receptor was good. But when you're playing Tetris, sometimes we're sending, a piece comes down that actually doesn't fit anywhere in the game. It has to go into the right side of the corner. And so your CB1 and CB2 receptors, we have two main. We're actually thinking that we now have a third CB3 receptor. But those receptors, right, have to have the pieces, and we have to have the right information that we can actually send to those receptors. I haven't talked about that yet. With the receptors, CB1, we have the majority of our CB1 receptors in our brain. And in our brain, what is our brain responsible for? It mainly affects all of those neurotransmitters, all of those hormones that are sending actual messages. This is why cannabis is helping with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, because it is affecting that serotonin and GABA reuptake. Those are antidepressant medications that most people are using, or that's what medicine is actually giving them. But the cannabis plant is helping that because we have a majority of those CB1 receptors in our brain. The second place we have the majority of the CB2 receptors. Now we have these receptors throughout our whole body, not just the brain and the tummy. But in the tummy, where the majority of the CB2 receptors are, those CB2 receptors, 80% of your immune system is in your gut. What is the immune system? The immune system is responsible for sending signals out for inflammation, right? It's sending a message out to the body. And just like food is information for our body, food is also medicine. Food is energy for our body, right? It's giving us messages. And that's what the CB1 and the CB2, they're getting the messages from those two signaling molecules. Now, a lot of people think that marijuana, I'll just tell you that, I thought that weed was just weed. I had no idea that there was a family of cannabis plants, and that the plants are different. So there's a cannabis sativa, where most people are getting a lot of their energy. It's an upper, right? It's more of an upper. And then there's cannabis indica, and then why it has the reason is it's based out of India, but it's more of a calming type plant. And then there's rubiales. So the plants are actually different. They're different sizes. There's tall, fat, and skinny, right? They're not even the same plant. I also had to learn, I ended up going and talking to a lot of these, I'm going to call them stoners, right? The people that were consuming marijuana is probably what more politically correct way of saying it. But I ended up going and talking to a lot of them, and they were using these words. They ended up using these words like sour diesel and OG Kush, because this was the mafia's way of communicating what the people were buying. It was THC and how much THC versus how much CBD that was actually in the plant. All of you have consumed, going back to my hula hoop, because I don't have that thing. So if I'm inside the hula hoop here, most of us, we've had this endocannabinoid system, and we've never consumed the cannabis plant. That doesn't mean you haven't consumed cannabinoids. Most of you have had black pepper, rosemary, cacao, some flax seeds. These are the way that your body has been currently regulating your endocannabinoid system. You've been consuming cannabinoids. You just didn't know it. The other thing is, if you've ever taken any of these drugs, most of us have, Tylenol, ibuprofen, or Toradol. We've been given Toradol, it's just ketorolac. You've been using the same enzymes, you've been using the same pathways in your body that the cannabinoid system is actually working on. Now, in medicine, we don't know how to study. We do not know how to study more than one molecule at a time. We are really good one molecule, and it's a double-blind placebo-controlled. But when we get to 2 or 3 different molecules in our body, things get really hazy because we don't know how to decipher what did what. You're talking about a cannabis plant that has over, and could have more, than 144 different cannabinoids in it. We don't know how to study the marijuana plant. We don't know how to study the cannabis family plants. These all have a different effect in the body, and this is a slide that right there. There's different pharmacological effects in the body of what these different cannabinoids actually do, and here's just a few of them. So I want you to think that cannabis, I hate when I hear that cannabis is the most amazing products, and it is going to be the next medical revolution. I do believe that. But it is a tool in our toolbox in medicine. It's not going to save your Crohn's disease, right? It's not going to save, it's going to be a tool in the toolbox, but you're going to have to do other environmental stuff to actually reverse your diseases. So what makes products different, right? Well, you're going to go back, as soon as we get done talking, you're going to go back downstairs. So what makes Legend's products different? What makes any of the products different? The first thing that you need to understand is when you walk downstairs, there's about 4 different types of CBD down there. They're not all the same type of CBD. The first one is what you've heard of as an isolate. An isolate, just like you're looking at these Swedish fish, when Swedish fish first came out, they only had red color. They only had one flavor, one color, and that's what an isolate is. We've isolated out just that one cannabinoid, which is called CBD, right? We've isolated out that one cannabinoid. When you're taking the isolate, if you're worried about drug testing, an isolate is the way to go because it's not going to come up positive, even if it is full spectrum, and I'll tell you about full spectrum in just a minute. But you have to consume over 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day for you actually to come up positive on a drug test. Most of us are not consuming that high of amount. And the reason why is when you're taking CBD, the enzymes in the stomach can convert, it's possible, it's really unlikely, but it's possible that the CBD can convert into what's called TCHA, and that's what's coming up positive on a drug screen. So, full spectrum, when Swedish Fish came out, right, they made their money a little bit, and they said, hey, we should come out with more flavors. I should come out with red and orange and green, and I should come out with more flavors, and that's what full spectrum is. We're using all the plant. When you're looking at the laboratory test, it actually should have more cannabinoids. You're not just looking at for CBD, you're looking for CBG, and you're looking for CBN. You're looking for more cannabinoids, different types of cannabinoids. The other thing when you go downstairs is you're going to see liposomal, and you're going to see nano-emulsion CBD. Now, I want you to think of this as a spaghetti strainer, right? So liposomal is a spaghetti strainer. It allows a larger particle to go through, and it increases the absorption rate. In medicine, we have a lot of liposomal products out there. There's liposomal glutathione. There's tons of research on liposomal. And it does increase the bioavailability into the body, that the body can absorb it better. Now, nanotechnology doesn't have as actually much information as of yet, but the school of thought is, think of a flour sifter, right? It's smaller particles. We're taking down the particle size, and so the body can increase the bioavailability. Now, they can say that it's nanotechnology if it's less than 1,000 nanometers. But let me tell you, there is a window with nanotechnology. There is an absolute window, and it's actually between 25 and 65, if my memory serves me right. But there's a window that nanotechnology actually works. I'm not 100% sold on nanotechnology yet. because to make the particle size actually a little bit smaller is they have to use a toxin. They have to use some type of chemical process to actually break that down. Now, I'm not saying that there's not good ones out there, because there is, but that is the other thing. But nanotechnology also changes the taste. And it tastes a little bit chemical. So if there's taste testing downstairs, like I want you to try different products because they do not taste the same. The other thing, when you go downstairs, and what I can assure you Legends products are, because I'm a functional medicine practitioner, is a lot of people will put ingredients in their products that really, really should not be in their products. I see citric acid, I see guar gum in people's products, I see polysorbate. These are ingredients that are all that all cause inflammation. Well, why would I put that in a product? Why would I put that in a product when I'm trying to prevent inflammation? That's one of the things that CBD does. So why would I actually put that in my product? So I want you to make sure that you're looking at the ingredient decks when you go back downstairs. And I can assure you that Legends products doesn't have any of these. The other important thing when you go downstairs is to understand that there's different types of extraction methods. And I can assure you technology is changing, and it's changing really, really rapidly. So I can tell you here that Legends is committed to learning about the different types of extraction. And with the different types of extraction, I'll tell you what I favor right now. I don't really care on an isolate what type of extraction it is, because it can keep getting extracted down until it's a isolate. So currently mine is a CO2 extraction. But on the full spectrum, in my opinion, it does matter, because we want to keep the full plant intact. We want to keep as many of those cannabinoids, as many of those flavonoids and terpenes intact. And right now, the technology, in my opinion, is favoring ethanol extraction. Also, the reason Legends has a variety of different types of products, from tinctures to topicals to salves, is because there's a different onset, right? There's a different duration, and there's a different bioavailability to the body depending on how you're consuming the product. So the way that you're consuming it matters, and in my opinion, it's about total milligrams of CBD per day. So the other thing, when you go downstairs, most people in their bottles are a 30 ml bottle, okay? Well, if you're buying a 250 milligram versus a 500 or 1,000 or 1,500 milligrams of CBD, what you need to understand is per droplet, right? And when you're dropping it out, it has a different amount of CBD per droplet. So if I'm getting, right, if I take a 250 milligram, one drop is 0.42, and it's not on this chart, but if I'm taking a 1,500 milligrams, I'm taking 2.5 milligrams per drop. So I want you to come downstairs and actually see me, because I've worked with the National Board of Cannabis Pharmacy, and because right now we don't really have dosing guidelines, and I'm going to have to say suggested use, because I can't use the word dose. But we have suggested use guidelines, and there's two school of thoughts on how to take your CBD. When you're taking your CBD, one school of thought is that you're taking between 30 to 45 milligrams per day. If you're healthy and you're just doing it for maintenance and overall health and wellness in your body, you just need a smaller amount. But if you're sick, and if you're taking CBD for a chronic illness or some type of disease, you base CBD based on your body weight. That's what all of the evidence is showing. All of the research is showing that if you need to dose based on your body weight. And so in medicine, we always talk about kilograms per milligram. That is confusing to everyone, including the medical practitioners. So what I've done is I've converted it over to pounds. So you're going to start taking 1 milligram per 10 pounds of body weight. You're going to wait 3 to 5 days before you titrate up, because there's a steady state with cannabis. And then you're gonna go up to 2 milligrams per 10 pounds. You're gonna wait 3 to 5 days, then you're gonna go up to 3-4 milligrams. You can go all the way up to 100 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight. That is extremely expensive, and I don't suggest that you do it. If you get to the point that you're taking 20 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight, you really need to be adding THC into the mix. One, for cost, and the other is you don't have to get high if you don't want to with THC, because on a 4-to-1 CBD THC ratio, it is scientifically impossible to get high. So you would take a 4-to-1 ratio of CBD to THC. Now there's 20-to-1 ratios, there's 4-to-1 ratios. So when you go into the states that are legal and it's coming here to Utah, you're going to need to look at the difference of the CBD to THC ratio, and you're going to need to know what product that it is. Now Legends, when you go downstairs, I want you to kind of get a feel of what Legends is kind of all about. Legends is about, like I kind of told you, I'm all about, the reason that the logo is a triangle is because the body is physical. You start with your physical body, right? And that helps your emotion, your meanings, and actually how you're celebrating. So I want you to leave here, right? And I want you to take charge. I want you to take charge of your own health. I want you to take charge of something in your life. Right? I want you to go home and see how you can create contagious energy. Freedom, right? How can you perform better? And it really starts with the physical body. And then I want you to hashtag me with the take charge, and I want you to tell me what you did to take charge of your health. So for listening for me today, if you go visit my booth downstairs, we're giving a 40% discount off of retail prices for other products. They have a flyer, and if you wait, you can put this Utah Cann code at home till May 31st, and you're going to get a 20% off of the products. So I appreciate your time listening to me, and I hope this was informational for you, and thank you.